Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HKP, aka Hot Cocoa Podcast. Today, I am joined with no one. It is just me. It is just your girl, Coco. We have not done a solo episode in a really long time. So consider this the first solo episode of 2023. I remember in like 2021 or 2, I don't remember. I was busting out like a solo episode every week. And for some reason, you guys really liked them. And honestly, I have a really fun time doing them. I was getting everything set up, and before I started, I was kind of like rehearsing what I was going to say. And I realized how therapeutic and much like fun I have doing these. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, there's no guests, and you're going to click off, I highly encourage you not to, because I have some really good stuff to say today. Today, we're going to be going over my Coachella 2023 recap, which I wanted to with some friends from Coachella, but I just felt it was better for me to do it on my own. And that is going to be really fun. One thing that I'm going to talk about is tips for getting out of a rut. So if you feel like you're in a rut or just like a slow period or anything like that, then I'm going to help you. Well, I'm going to give you my tips for getting out of a rut. Hopefully they'll help you. The third thing I want to talk about is summer expectations. It's May. It is May 3rd today, and this comes out on May 5th. So summer's around the corner. We are getting down to the wire. So what do those summer expectations look like this year? I can't believe it's almost summer. I literally cannot. And yeah, we're just going to have a good time. It's going to be a good old Hot Cocoa Podcast solo mission episode. I'm really excited. So thank you guys for listening, and let's get into it. Grab your hot cocoa and enjoy the show. Hot Cocoa Podcast. I want to start this episode by saying I'm drinking a matcha right now. I have become a matcha girl. I thought I would never, ever become a matcha girl. And if you guys know me, you know that I love coffee. The other day on Monday, I was feeling tired and I was in a rut, obviously. And I was like, I'll just drink a lot of coffee to get through the day. For once, that actually didn't work for me at all. I drank first of all, I had a 4-shot latte, and then I had like black coffee, all within the span of a couple hours, and I was still so tired. And I was like, maybe coffee's not going to be the best thing for me this week. So I decided to not drink any coffee yesterday. I had some mushroom coffee, which, by the way, you guys, don't sleep on that. It's actually really good. So I had some caffeine in my system, just to get me moving. And I also went through my entire closet yesterday and redid literally everything. And I'm in the process of redoing my room too. So I was like, I need something this morning. So yeah, it was just really good. And then I had no coffee that day. I went to Captain's and I got decaf coffee. And then this morning I did drink 2 sips of a Celsius at the gym, which I haven't done in a really long time. Also, my motivation for going to the gym this week is 0. I am in the biggest rut right now, and I feel like I've been through the worst of it. So now I'm on the up and up for sure. But yeah, we'll get into more of that in a little bit. But anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm drinking matcha this week, and yeah. I was going to talk about Coachella first, but I think I want to talk about being in a rut first, because like I said, when I was in a rut this week, you don't know you're in a rut until you're in a rut. You're like, oh, I have no motivation to do anything. Or for me, what being in a rut looks like is I have all of these things to do, but I just don't have any motivation to do them at all. And right now I have a long to-do list of things I need to do, and all of these goals, dreams, aspirations, things that I want to do, but I'm I don't want to do that. I wake up and I'm I do not want to do that. I actually just want to sit and rot in my bed, which is not like me at all. If you know me, I'm very go. So the fact that I've been wanting to be around no one and spend a lot of time by myself kind of is a shock to me. The other day I spent 3 hours at the park by myself journaling and reading. And if you know me at all, you know I can barely sit still for 5 minutes. So it was weird to feel that way. But my biggest thing and my first tip to get yourself out of a rut is to just feel it. which is like the opposite of probably what you want to hear. You probably want to hear, do this, and then you'll get out of a rut. But my biggest advice is to just listen to your body and just feel whatever is causing the rut. So for me, I was exhausted. Like part of me getting into a rut was post Coachella depression, obviously, which is very real. But I was like, okay, I'm tired. I have to get back to real life. I have this, I have that. I don't know. You don't know why ruts come, but they just do. So I was in a rut and I went to the park for 3 hours and just like felt everything I was feeling and like wrote about it and journaled and just like sat in it. And I know that's like a crazy concept, but think about this. Have you ever felt really intense emotions and just sat with them? Just sit with them and like accept them and feel them and kind of just like let them pass. I think that's something really powerful. I think that's something that I was never taught growing up, and you can't really teach that. Like if you're feeling bad, like just feel worse, just sit in it, feel a little worse. That's like the craziest thing I've ever heard, but it really means a lot when you just take a step back and you really feel what you're feeling and confront those emotions, and don't be scared of them. Just feel them. Literally just feel them and sit with them and process them. I think that's something that I have neglected my whole life, was processing my emotions. I would think I would process them, but they would just come back up like a couple months later, a couple weeks later, whatever it is. And it was really nice to just sit with all my thoughts and my emotions, and it just is good. So I highly encourage you, if you're going through it right now or just like feeling weird, like if you're not 100% yourself and you're like, there's something off. It doesn't even need to be like you're in this huge depressive like rut or whatever it is. It can be super small and just like, I'm not feeling like myself today, or I'm not feeling like XYZ, or oh, you know what? Like in the past week, I've been doing things for other people. I haven't really felt very in tune with myself. Make some time for yourself to feel those emotions and like actually ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Crazy concept, I know. Also, I apologize for just getting like right into it. I wrote topics down, but I had no agenda for like how I was going to talk about them today. And honestly, I'm okay with it. My second one was have a park day. I think I will say go to the park and just sit in your emotions until the day I die. I think that's something that I will start doing very often. And it doesn't have to be the park. It could be the beach, could be whatever. Normally it would be the beach for me, but honestly, the park has just been like hitting different. Underneath the tree, in the grass. You can spend hours there. Like hours just chilling in a park. Get some coffee, go hang out, see what you want to do. But yeah, there's something really powerful about just being, which is crazy. I feel like a new prophetic, like profound woman. Is prophetic even a word? I don't even think that's a word. See, this is when I really miss a guest, because I would love to bounce some ideas off people. And if you can't tell, solo episodes are chaotic. They just are. Solo episodes are probably the most chaotic content on my channel. But you guys like them, so whatever. These are all just tips for like doing nothing. So I feel like people probably have the awareness of like when they don't feel good, they don't do anything and they know what to do. But for me, I had to like actually put in the work and be like, Colette, you're not doing anything. You're going to sit here and you're going to think about your stuff. Maybe I'm just not mentally well right now. This is making me sound just like so unwell, but it's fine. One thing that I did when I was in a rut that helped me a lot was to journal, draw, and read, specifically in the sun. Journaling, obviously, about what you're feeling, that's kind of a given if you're feeling up for it. But one thing that I started doing that I would never normally do is I started drawing. I would just open my page or like my journal or whatever and just start drawing. And I am the worst artist in the world. Like, I can barely draw stick figures. Like, I'm actually the worst artist to live, I think. But there's something very like freeing about just opening a page and being like, yeah, I'm really bad at this, but it's helping me get through some of my shit. So it was nice to like open up a page before I started thinking about everything, or when I was thinking too much about everything, which happens a lot when you're kind of like reflecting on yourself, just to like draw and just kind of like let your mind wander and let your hand wander and just like draw whatever. A lot of times I would write like words and like scribble in them, do like bubble letters, and it's just like a lot of tracing and like coloring and stuff, to be honest. Maybe I should get a coloring book. That is a fire idea. Okay, another tip to getting out of a rut is getting a coloring book and going to color. That's actually so fire. I'm going to do that this weekend. That sounds so great. I think a coloring book would do me wonders. So yeah, that was really good for me. One thing that I encourage you guys to do if you're in a rut or just like in a space where you're kind of stuck in your head, reach out to some friends. And I'm not saying reach out to your like acquaintance friends that you've known for like whatever. Like, no, like reach out to your really close friend or friends that you know will have your back and listen to you no matter what. I know when I am not feeling good, I like don't really want to be around everyone, but there's specific people in my life that I know that I can go to them and like talk to them about what's going on. And it could be like a family member too. I know my family's helped me through a lot of stuff, and it just helps to kind of talk it out and get outside of your head too, because for me, when I'm reflecting like a lot, it's hard for me to see another perspective, especially because I'm so hard on myself upstairs in my brain. But it's nice when you're talking to a friend about what's going on. They kind of level you out sometimes, and they say stuff that you probably wouldn't have thought of, and obviously are there to listen and like reassure you if you have good friends. But it's just nice to like get out of your head and just kind of like talk about what's going on. One thing that I've noticed too, I feel like the universe will reward you if you're vulnerable, which sounds kind of weird, but all the times that I've been vulnerable with a person or with myself, I feel like I get rewarded. And I'm not saying like, go be vulnerable, it'll get you something. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. But there's so much power in like not ignoring your emotions and not ignoring things and like being straight up with other people about how you feel, or like telling that guy you like him or whatever. It just kind of brings you down to earth and makes you get in tune with yourself. And like being vulnerable is actually really awesome. And I have preached vulnerability since like 2019 on this page, but I would be lying if I said that I was vulnerable 24/7. And I can definitely tell last year I was not vulnerable at all, which is crazy because it was probably one of the most vulnerable times in my life. And I was very closed off. And so now I think that it's rewarding to be vulnerable for not only yourself, but for like the people around you and the people that you care about. They want to know how you're doing genuinely. I want to know how you're doing genuinely. And yeah, so I don't know, just pour some like vulnerability into your life, like things that you normally like wouldn't say to people, but like you really, really want to, or like whatever your intuitive instinct is, like just go for it. Like who cares? Also, one thing I do want to say, it's not that deep. Obviously, people go through things like really heavy stuff. So I'm not saying like your stuff is not valid, but it's not that deep half the time. In the words of Emma Chamberlain, she said half the things that you stress about don't actually come true. That is so prevalent even in like, no, it's just so prevalent. Like whatever you are stressing about, it's probably never going to happen. I'm specifically talking from my experience, so I'm not telling anyone that whatever you went through isn't valid and it's not that deep, because I know that stuff that people go through is deep. But for me, I know some of the things that I stress about and overthink about, it's really not that deep. Like I can get into all the things I think about on a daily basis, but that is like a 30-minute topic for another day. But one question I've been asking myself too is like, to lighten the mood of everything is, how can I have more fun right now? How is this trip to the grocery store going to be fun? How is getting my homework done going to be fun? Like making things just a little bit more fun each day, or like each thing that you do, especially the things that you don't want to do, almost like little rewards, will make you more happy, I think. Or at least that works for me. It could be as simple, like one thing that I do at the grocery store, because I hate the grocery store. It's grown on me, I actually like it now, but I used to hate it. One thing that I would do to make my time more fun, every time I got out of the grocery store, I would hop on the back of it and like I'd run and like jump on it. You know how like it just goes by itself and you just like hang on to it, right? Like, so you're like floating. I do that every time I leave the grocery store, like a little kid. And people look at me funny, and I think that's great. I think people looking at you funny is just confirmation that you're having a good time. So do more fun stuff in your day to day. It'll make your life so much better. So yeah, I guess that is my like being in a rut and what I would do. And really, that's just me being very vulnerable on the podcast and telling you guys kind of what I've been going through. And I just want to preface, I'm completely fine. There's nothing like that serious going on. It's just hard growing up, and being young is painful sometimes. So we're all just doing our best. So, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. On to my very exciting topic. Coachella 2023. What was that? I don't know. I went to Coachella for the first time this year, and it was an experience for sure. I had a great time. I just want to say that. I had such a good time. We were with like 30 of our friends, which is crazy. We ended up camping, and we went to weekend 2. And so we had 10 camping spots, which was insane. So we had our own little like world, which was super fun. And we just all had a good time. It was great. The only thing I hate about Coachella though is the heat. That was the one thing that got me. It was like 95, I think, on Saturday. I swear it was almost 100, or at least it felt 100. And it was like in the high 90s pretty much the entire weekend. So it was a little rough, but first Coachella experience was a 10 out of 10. My favorite artists, like some of my favorite artists were there, and we got to sit like front row for like almost every show. So my favorite was Kate Renata, hands down, 10 out of 10. I loved him. He is such a good performer. He brought out Anderson .Paak and Her, which was crazy. And we were literally barricade, like front row, which was crazy. And we got to see S.G. Lewis before then, which was really fun. Kyle Watson, Chris Stussy. I'm specifically speaking like... I just hit the mic, sorry. I'm specifically speaking day 1 of like who we saw. But everyone was just like so good. And the thing about Coachella is like everyone's dying. Like everyone's dying of heat stroke, and everyone's exhausted, and you're walking 20 miles a day. But everyone's dying together. That's the beauty of Coachella. Everyone is dying. Everyone is suffering together. But you suffer in the name of good music. And I'll do that all day long. I will do that all weekend long. It was good. We walked about 20 miles a day. Everyone's phone was up to like 36,000 steps like each day, which was crazy. Also, I don't know why Coachella is so big on the outfits. I think that that's stupid in my opinion, because it is so hot out there. I'm just trying to survive. Like, especially, I mean, obviously when you're camping and when you stay like in an Airbnb, or like if you're an influencer and you stay in like one of those houses, very different experiences, because they probably don't go into the festival till like 4. But we were in the festival day 1 at like 12:30 when the gates opened at 12. And that's the way to do it in my opinion. Like, I don't think Coachella should be such an influencer thing. I think it's a festival. It's a music festival. And it's cool to get pictures and like have the experience. Like, I'm very glad I took film pictures and took pictures on my phone. The one thing I didn't do though, you guys, I did not vlog. We tried to vlog day 0, which was the day we were all camping. But I was just like so in the moment that I didn't want to vlog anything. I barely took any pictures. Like, all of my outfits, which I worked really, really hard on, which you guys remember from all the vlogs if you watched them, I like was sweating through them and like didn't care. So I didn't want pictures in like sweaty outfits. But I knew I looked good. I knew I was having a good time, and I was comfortable. The biggest thing is like I prioritize comfort over looking cute almost every single day. So yeah, I don't really know why people go so hard on the outfits for Coachella. Like, I can see how it makes it very fun, and if you're gonna get dressed up and like go crazy, like it's gonna be there. But I went crazy in different ways, and it was just a really good time. I'm really glad I went. If my biggest thing for Coachella is if you ever get the opportunity to go, or you kind of want to go, just go. Like, it's worth it. Like, it was expensive, yes, but if you do it right, it's not that bad, and it's just so worth it. Like, it was so much fun. I will be going next year, and I also think I had a really good time, but I'll have an even better time next year because now I'll know what to expect and like what to bring. And I was like over prepared for pretty much everything. So I didn't have like a bad time necessarily, but now I know what to expect and stuff. Yeah, it was a really good time. I had a really, really fun time, and I'm gonna make a video soon. Hopefully, we'll see. I've been like pumping out Coachella content, like not a lot, but I just really want it to be an experience rather than like a reason for me to post about it. Do you know what I mean? Which is really cool. I don't think I need to post about everything in my personal life, you know? That's why I have you guys to talk to you guys about it. So, yeah, Coachella 2023 was a 10 out of 10. I wish I could talk to you guys more about like everything that happened, but the music was so good. Metro Boomin was so good. Also, seeing Metro Boomin live, I don't listen to rap music. Seeing him live sparked something in me, and now all I listen to is rap music right now. And my roommates listen to rap, and they were like, we've been trying to tell you, it's good, and it is really good. So in terms of spiritual awakenings, I had a spiritual awakening with rap music this week, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I think it's great. Post Coachella though, I slept. I came home. We left on Monday morning, came back. I came here to the apartment, and then I just basically went to bed at 9 p.m. and slept until 3 p.m. the next day. Woke up in a haze for like 5 hours and then just went back to bed for like 12. And then I woke up on Wednesday and was like, I think I'm feeling okay. And then I had to work Thursday through Sunday. And then on Monday, this past week, I woke up so tired. That's the day I had like a fuck ton of coffee and I was just dead. Like I didn't want to do anything. And listen to your body, by the way. When you're tired and you don't want to do anything, if you don't have to do anything, like just don't do anything. Like I should have stayed in bed that whole day, but instead I like tried to make myself do stuff. So instead I like, oh, my little brother got home, so I got to hang out with him, which was great. And then I tried to go to the gym, didn't happen. I just ended up sitting at my desk like trying to work for like 3 hours. But that's okay. I just encourage you to listen to your body because you need rest sometimes, and rest is okay. And I'm really bad at telling myself that. But anyway, so I feel like my post-Coachella depression has hit a lot later than I expected. I did pretty good when we came back because I like went to the park and like hung out with myself and had a good time. But it's like today's Wednesday and I'm feeling it. I'm like super bummed. I watched like all my videos the other night, and yeah, it's just a good experience, and it's only once a year, so it was a good time, and I will miss it until next year, but I know it's going to come up quick and everything. And there's other festivals. You know what's crazy though is that that was only my second festival in my whole life. The first festival I went to was Crossed in September, and then my second festival was Coachella. So what an intense switch up. Crossed is so much different than Coachella, and I just kind of started listening to house music in like September, really. I mean, I used to listen to it like growing up and like didn't really think I did. I was like a diehard Flume girl when I was growing up, and like I would listen to all that kind of music, but I just fell back in love with it in September, which was really cool. So yeah, a very intense second festival. So now I feel like I can do anything though, because I'm like, it wasn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Like I thought I was going to be like actually dying, and I was. There was parts when I was, but your girl knows how to rally. If anyone knows how to rally in the world, it is me, and I did it. It was great. So yeah, that was Coachella 2023. If you want to hear more, let me know. I'm sorry that there's no vlog. There's a few clips I might post, but we'll see. Maybe next year I'll vlog. Also, the other thing I saw at Coachella, last thing I'll say about it, everyone was vlogging. And I think that's the reason I like didn't want to make content at Coachella, because everyone's making content at Coachella. I'm like, how much Coachella content can one consume? I can barely make enough. Like I made 2 Instagram posts. I'm like, dang, I'm posting a lot about Coachella. So I just didn't like have a want or like a need to like make a bunch of content. So I didn't. I just literally didn't. So I'm happy about it. Moving on to topic number 3. Summer 2023 is here. It's pretty much around the corner. What are the 2023 summer expectations? I have a few. Number 1, this summer is for the girls and the girls only. For me, I feel like I've had a lot of focus on boys in the past couple months, and I'm over it. I don't, like, if you're a male and you want to talk to me, I'm good. Which is actually such a lie. Like I say that and I'm like, that is such a lie. But here's the thing. It's the summer for the girls and the boys can be there, but they're not the plot. They're just a part of it. Like they're not the main focus of the summer and of the plot. And honestly, they shouldn't be for your whole life. And I'm learning that. It's fine. But this is why it's the summer for the girls. I want to be dancing with my girls. I want to be going to the beach and surfing with my girls. I want to go to concerts with my girls. I just want to have a girls summer. And I'm really looking forward to that. I had one of those, I wouldn't say last summer was my girls summer, but I don't even know if I've really had a girls summer. So anyway, that's what this summer is for. It's the summer for the girls. Number 2, no holding back this summer. If you want to ask that guy out, go ask that guy out. If you want to ask for his number at the bar, I'm like, no boys summer. And I'm like, go ask for his number. Go shoot your shot with that guy. Basically, the premise of it is just be bold. Be bold this summer, whether it's doing something funny or like if your first instinct is like, nah, I shouldn't do that. You should do it anyway. Like this summer, I just want to be so bold and like feral. And feral in a good way, not in like the like destructive way that I normally say I'm feral with. But I just think that we should just be having more fun, like I said earlier, and ask yourself that every day this summer. Like, how can I be having more fun? Is it wearing that really funky outfit that everyone tells me I shouldn't wear? Yeah, maybe. This is also the summer for yourself and for taking yourself out on dates. I want to do a whole other episode called Date Yourself Instead, because I have recently been just like craving change and switching it up a little bit, going to different coffee shops and not like going to the same coffee shop I always go to, but going to different coffee shops by myself and ordering things by myself, bringing a book and reading by myself, going to dinner or lunch by myself, like thrifting by myself, like creating intentional time to like spend with yourself and like date yourself is going to be very like powerful this summer. So if there's no one around for you to hang out with, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what do I want to do with this person? And can I do that by myself? And if the answer is yes, just go do it by yourself. I guarantee you're going to have a great time and be bold, make some new friends. Like that is the point of the summer is be bold, have a good time and date yourself. Those are my summer goals at least. I don't know what yours are, but those are mine. I'm also going to have a good ass time this summer. I know I'm going to go out. I know I'm going to have a good time and it's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to it. The sun started coming out today a little bit. And yeah, I'm just excited. Summer is like one of my favorite times. The water's warm. I can't wait to start surfing again. We have some fun house parties that we're going to be throwing. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. So I would love to hear what your guys' summer 2023 expectations are and rules. I want to know if there's like a rule book. Should we make a rule book for summer 2023? That'd be crazy. But yeah, let me know. Shoot me a DM. Text me. I don't know. I just really want to know. I really want to know what the summer expectations are. Okay, so we're wrapping up, you guys. That is pretty much all I had to talk about. I started today's solo episode kind of knowing what I wanted to talk about, but just knowing I wanted to do one. And I think it went okay. It was a little bit chaotic, and I never know what's going to come out of my mouth when I podcast because I'll start by saying something and then it'll go like a completely different direction. And my brain has a mind of its own for real. How I want to start closing out every episode is a song that I truly enjoy. So the song of the week for me is Love Is Not Enough by Miami Horror and Forest Motif. Go give that a listen. That song's so good. But it was fun. It was good to sit down with you guys, catch up, chat, see how everyone's doing. Thank you guys so much for listening to me and letting me be vulnerable. If you've made it this far in the solo episode, you are a real one, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to follow all the socials, and my YouTube channel has a new vlog up from a few weeks ago. I have some fun content that I'm going to come out with this month, which is going to be a really good time. And next week we have our friend Claire on the podcast. So that's going to be a really good time. And yeah, if you don't follow me already, go follow me. Shoot me a DM if you guys are in a rut and you need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. If you have any questions about Coachella 2023, also here for that. I would love to hear summer expectations. Let me know. The DMs are always open. At Hot Cocoa Podcast, at Colette Moorhead. I will see you guys. That is it. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys so much. Grab your hot cocoa and enjoy the show. Hot Cocoa Podcast.